Tonight on Cronkite News, the Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem making an appearance at our southern border with Mexico. What she said about the plans for future immigration enforcement.
Plus, protesters in the West Valley speaking out over a proposed ICE detention center coming to the city of Surprise.
And celebrities show out at TPC Scottsdale for the Celebrity Pro-Am. We'll tell you who we spotted on the green coming up on Cronkite News. Good evening and welcome to Cronkite News. I'm Reina Majalet.
And I'm Eric Matsumoto. Thank you for joining us. This morning, United States Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem traveled to the U.S.-Mexico border in Nogales, Arizona. Cronkite News reporter Abby Jurek was present when Secretary Noem spoke earlier today.
We're here in Nogales where Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem just spoke moments ago. In her speech, she highlighted how crime rates have gone down since Trump has been in office, and she compared Trump's administration to Biden's. Check it out.
In President Trump's first year back in office, we've delivered the most secure border in American history. And we did it with the immediate aftermath we were facing from that humanitarian crisis that was created from Joe Biden's open border policies. It is so quiet here now today that sometimes we even forget how bad it was just a little over a year ago. And the importance of the accomplishment that has happened over this last year cannot be forgotten.
Following her statements, Noem left and did not take any questions from the press there. Officials for U.S. Customs and Border Protection, Border Patrol, and Immigration and Customs Enforcement all joined Noem here at the border wall. Noem told us this morning that border czar Tom Homan was, quote, busy up in Minneapolis today. Now this comes after Homan said ICE is pulling 700 agents from Minnesota. Noem did not comment on where those agents will now be placed. However, she did speak to her hopes for the agency overall and promised to continue ramping things up. In Nogales, Abby Jurek, Cronkite News.
As Abby just said, White House border czar Tom Homan says DHS is withdrawing 700 agents from Minneapolis immediately. A majority of the force will remain, nearly 2,000, to continue the administration's immigration crackdown. Homan says the department is aiming for a complete drawdown as soon as possible, but he said that depends on the cooperation of local and state law enforcement. The administration said it hopes to deploy body cameras for agents nationwide, but primarily in Minneapolis. This after 2 Americans were killed by ICE agents last month.
In the West Valley, a city council meeting with several hours of public comment, dozens of speakers, and hundreds of participants. Community members gathered in Surprise to speak out about a warehouse recently purchased by ICE. According to Maricopa County records, DHS paid more than $70 million in cash for this 418,000 square foot property. DHS Secretary Kristi Noem said facilities like these are going up all around the country. Protesters voiced their opinions outside the warehouse, while the council heard opinions on both sides of the issue.
I appreciate the hard work that these men and women who wake up every day, take up these shifts, and say, I will protect you.
You have a moral and ethical obligation to defend every life in our city, and the reality is that people under your care are now incredibly scared and incredibly unsafe.
Surprise Mayor Kevin Sarter said there is nothing the council can do to prevent the purchase because federal law takes precedent. He warned people to avoid speculating about the warehouse's intended purpose since ICE has not reached out to the city regarding the facility.
Immigration is also fueling political tension across the country, with clashes and court battles as U.S. relations with Mexico may face new strains. Cronkite News reporter Edward Neiman spoke with Mexican officials and experts about what this moment means for U.S.-Mexico relations.
Amid imposed tariffs and the oil conflict with Cuba, I met with the Consul General of Mexico and with experts wanting to find out the impact the relationship between the U.S. and Mexico will have on the community. As migration and security concerns grow between the United States and Mexico, the Trump administration continues to mount pressure amid bilateral tensions.
The U.S. can exert pressure on Mexico through tariffs, through closing down the border, through more enforcement actions, if you will, on migration. And they can basically kind of tell Mexico what to do.
But Mexico has reaffirmed its commitment to making independent foreign policy decisions while remaining cooperative at the international level.
The presidents, President Trump and President Sheinbaum, they have spoken almost 20 times in the last year.
In recent days, President Trump has ramped up pressure on Mexico to halt shipments of oil to Cuba, but Mexico has stood firm in their support of the Caribbean nation.
The provision on some oil that Mexico has given, it's for the people's Cuban people benefit, not for the government.
Back here in Arizona, the Consulate General of Mexico in Phoenix continues their services to support the Mexican community.
It's how we support people in three very important aspects. We produce documentation for them, like passports, consular IDs, the birth certificates they may need them in order to proceed with any other paperwork here in the States.
With increased pressure from President Trump, experts say that it's still important for both countries to maintain a relationship with each other.
We benefit each other. Let's be supportive of each other's policies so that it's a win-win game. And I think right now it's kind of like just let's, live and let live, and let's see what we can do, because I think Mexico is a little concerned with the heavy-handedness that the United States can employ against them.
Earlier this week, Mexico's President Claudia Sheinbaum said she remains committed to open and constructive communication. In the newsroom, Edward Neiman, Cronkite News.
In Washington, a tense hearing involving a case with Senator Mark Kelly and his lawsuit against the Pentagon. Senator Kelly is asking the court for a preliminary injunction to block a move to cut his military retirement. The move was ordered by Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth after Kelly posted a video urging service members to refuse unlawful orders. Senator Kelly's attorneys argue that Hegseth's punishment violated his First Amendment rights. Senator Kelly spoke about the case after yesterday's hearing.
There's nothing more fundamental to our democracy than the freedom of speech and the freedom to speak out about our government. And that's what I'm fighting for here.
In Tucson, the search continues for the mother of Today's Show host Savannah Guthrie. It's been 4 days since the disappearance of 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie, and the Pima County Sheriff's Department is now looking into alleged ransom notes. TMZ reported last night that they received an alleged ransom note demanding millions in Bitcoin exchange for Guthrie's safe return home. Fear for Guthrie's safety is mounting as officials noted that Guthrie now doesn't have access to vital daily medication.
We're looking at this from every angle, but we need your help. Every lead and tip is important. We are aggressively pursuing and looking into every single one. Again, please help us bring Nancy Guthrie home.
In a social media post, the department says they are aware of reports about the note. However, police aren't ruling out the possibility of a ransom situation just yet. Now detectives are analyzing DNA found at the scene.
An announcement from the north end of our state. The National Park Service reopened land near the north rim of the Grand Canyon today. Much of the rim has been closed to the public since July after the area was decimated by the Dragon Bravo fire. The reopened sections include over 8,500 acres of House Rock Valley and over 2 miles of the Saddle Mountain Trail in Kaibab National Forest. Coming up next, this tribal nation is making history in a legal win for environmental conservation.
That's right. The Colorado River Indian Tribe is the first tribal nation in Arizona to recognize a river as a person.
Well, the Colorado River means it's our lifeline, most importantly to the Mojave people. But of course, the Chemehuevi, the Navajo, and the Hopi also have strong ties.
What this declaration means for the future of the Colorado as states fight for their share of the river's dwindling supply. Coming up on Cronkite News.
Plus, Phoenix continues to heat up this weekend. Your 8-day weather forecast coming up next.
Explore the Southwest style that makes the Grand Canyon State so unique on Arizona Living. Host Danielle Lerner takes to the road to showcase the people, places, and culture at the heart of our state, while offering up some exciting ideas for your next getaway. Whether you're new to the area or a longtime resident just looking for a bit of inspiration, discover all that Arizona has to offer on Arizona Living. Sunday and Tuesday only on YourView or streaming at yourview.com.
Welcome back. We start with news out of Florida. The man convicted of trying to assassinate then presidential candidate Donald Trump was sentenced to life in prison today.
A federal judge in Florida handed down the sentence to Ryan Ruth. Prosecutors had pushed for him to receive a life sentence. Ruth has an attorney now, but represented himself during his trial. Prosecutors say Ruth laid in wait for Trump at his West Palm Beach golf course in 2024. There could be a short-term path forward for Colorado River states. Governor Hobbs said she is confident Arizona will get its fair share following a meeting in Washington, D.C. last week.
However, states aren't the only ones with rights to the river. Dozens of tribal nations are invested in the future of the Colorado River. Cronkite News reporter Reuben J. Brown tells us how one tribe is taking an unusual tactic to save the river.
Well, the Colorado River means it's our lifeline, most importantly to the Mojave people. But of course, the Chemehuevi, the Navajo, and the Hopi also have strong ties to water and to the river.
Without the Colorado River, there would be no Colorado River Indian tribes, or Crit, as the tribal nation is often called. To them, the river is more than a source of water. It's the source of their sovereignty and the lifeblood of their community. That's why Crit recently passed a resolution, recognizing the river in a different way, not as a continental scale work of plumbing, but as a legal person.
That means that our river is protected. Now we have that right under our tribal law to protect our river. In any future contracts, any dealings that we have with outside entities, the river will be included.
As a senior rights holder to Colorado River water, Crit is last in line to face cuts during a shortage. That means that it can have excess water at a time when cities and farms off reservation are in need. Since the passing of a 2023 federal law, Crit has been able to lease that excess water to those other parties. Now, with the river personhood recognition, the river itself can be written into those agreements, directing money to its longevity, its ecosystems, and its cultural meaning to Crit members.
You know, we want to preserve the fish. We want to preserve the animals, you know, that live off the river too. Also, to train our people in agriculture and also train our people dealing with water engineering, getting those scholarships, you know, getting the education.
Joshua Moore manages the Colorado River Indian Tribes Farm Company. He sees the personhood recognition as a way to safeguard the river's future and Crit's future.
As a professional on the reservation that farms, I think about how the river as a person is really making sure that we protect the fact that it's going to be a living river. You see rivers all over across the state of Arizona that only show up when it rains. And that is the last thing that I think any of us would like to see.
Passing both the federal law and the personhood recognition has required a huge team effort, Chairwoman Flores says, but it's essential work for the long-term future of the Colorado River Indian tribes and their namesake river.
Now, again, sovereignty. It enhances our sovereignty as a tribe that now look at what we have. Look at what we can do with our water, with our lands, with our resources. And that's kind of like putting our words into action.
As flows of the Colorado River we all depend on in the West become less reliable, Crit is playing its part in ensuring the river lives on for generations to come. In the Colorado River Indian Reservation, this is Reuben J. Brown, Cronkite News.
The Colorado River Indian Tribes is the second tribal nation in the United States to recognize a river as a legal person, and the first in Arizona. Now, it may be winter, but the weekend brings perfect temperatures for your Super Bowl barbecue.
Bentley Yank joins us now from the Cronkite Weather Center with our forecast.
Thanks, guys. Good evening and welcome to the Cronkite Weather Center. We have a lot to go over this evening, so let's get started. Starting at 6 p.m., we're going to see a high of 81 degrees with the sun still out, and it's the beginning of February. Now we're going to shoot down to 10 p.m. at 70 degrees, sitting at 10 p.m. So it's going to get a little bit nicer there, as then we go over to Phoenix with our low temperatures at 59 degrees, and we travel up to Holbrook at 26 degrees, and then down to Tombstone at 42. Now we're going to go with our high temperatures. Phoenix is going to, of course, be 81. Then the Grand Canyon will be 57 degrees, and Tucson sitting at 75 degrees. Now we're going to go over our 8-day forecast for you guys. Tomorrow is going to be partly cloudy, sitting at a high of 81 degrees and then shooting down to 60, with Saturday looking the same except at 55 and staying partly cloudy. Now on Sunday, it is Super Bowl Sunday where the Patriots take on the Seahawks. We're sitting at 84 degrees, so they definitely want to play here. They're playing in Santa Clara at a beautiful 66 degrees, shooting down to the lows of 46 while we're at 55. We're going to end our week at 73, shooting all the way down to 57. For the Cronkite Weather Center, I'm Bentley Yank. Back to you.
Thanks, Bentley. Coming up next, a former Cardinals wide receiver gets an honorable mention.
Larry Fitzgerald is one of the finalists for the Hall of Fame class of 2026.
If I'm lucky enough to get in someday, this would be a great feather in your cap,
A look back on Fitzgerald's career highs and his appearance at the WM Phoenix Open, coming up next on Cronkite News.
And engineers that support the next mission to Mars could be in this class.
Getting a degree at ASU is a journey that can take you anywhere. Into a world of groundbreaking technology and renowned award-winning faculty. Professors who help you to impact the world. Whether you're on campus or at home, becoming your best starts with learning from the best.
It's what you do. It's how you do it. It's Arizona Living Your Life. Join host Kate Longworth for a show designed to help you live your best Southwest life. Get a closer look at the most enjoyable experiences to be found in Arizona. From great day trips to delicious dining spots to fun activities for the whole family. There's no shortage of new adventures awaiting you. Watch Arizona Living Your Life, Sunday and Tuesday only on YourView or streaming at yourview.com.
Hello and welcome into the Cronkite Sports Report. I'm Gabby Chernoff here at TPC Scottsdale. It's a beautiful day for the Annexus Celebrity Pro-Am, and we'll get you all caught up with some of the star-studded faces that were out here teeing up this morning. But first, one of golf's biggest stars returned to the WM Phoenix Open after nearly 4 years. Brooks Koepka left for the LIV Golf Tour, came back to the PGA, and makes his return to the People's Open this week. He was the first golfer who went to the LIV and then came back to the PGA. He played with the first group in the Pro-Am this morning and is a two-time Phoenix Open winner who finished third in 2021, the last time he played the event. You can bet he'll be one of the most popular players out here this week. Alongside Koepka, it is the Celebrity Pro-Am. After all, there was a star-studded cast out here this morning. Plenty of athletes, singers, comedians, actors, and our Grace Johnson was out here on the driving range bright and early to catch up with some of the stars.
Yeah, thanks so much, Gabby. We've been out on the driving range here since about 7 a.m. this morning, and there's been a steady stream of famous celebrities trying to get a few swings in before they hit the course. We've seen U.S. Olympian Michael Phelps out here, along with players from the Arizona Cardinals, several MLB players, and even country music star Zach Top. Now, another big draw out here in Scottsdale today is Kansas City Chiefs' Travis Kelce. For a lot of these celebrities, it's their first time playing in the WM Phoenix Pro-Am, so there are definitely some nerves out here, but for the most part, they said they're excited to just soak up this environment.
Well, I hear they'll boo the crap out of you if you miss the green on 16. And that will probably break my heart, but that's okay because I write most of my best songs when I'm brokenhearted, so maybe it'll inspire a great song.
It's just fun. I love it. I've been out here as a fan, and I just love coming out here, and it's just amazing weather, so many people, fun time, so really looking forward to it.
Kelce was one of the few celebrities that skipped out on the range this morning, and for all you Swifties wondering out there, unfortunately, no sign of Taylor Swift. From TPC Scottsdale, I'm Grace Johnson. Back to you, Gabby.
Hey, thanks, Grace. I'm right there with you. I'm a Swiftie myself. I've been keeping an eye out for Taylor Swift. No sight of her yet, though. But let's talk about the Super Bowl. As I'm sure you can imagine, lots of anticipation leading up to the big game out in the Bay Area. Lots of media attention and coverage, including from our very own Justin Lacertosa, who's out in San Jose with more on how some of the Super Bowl stars are gearing up and blocking out the noise ahead of the big game.
Well, it's that time of the year. It's Super Bowl week, and with that come thousands of media members here to San Jose to cover all the events such as Monday's opening night, Radio Row, and countless press conferences and media availabilities before the big game. But for the players, same routine, same focus, except this time they got their eyes on the prize.
It's something that I waited for my whole life for, so as far as like the work, I know how to separate the two. I'm here on a business trip. It's gonna be some fun meeting a lot of new people, good experience, but I'm here on a mission. I ain't thinking about nothing else for real.
The routine stays the same. This week is different, but my routine, especially before the game, it will stay the same. And everybody been doing a good job of keeping it, kind of consistent, throughout the week, making it feel like we're still in Seattle.
I say it gets harder each time, every time in the playoffs, we kept going on to the next game and the next game. It just kept getting harder and harder. And so we know this game is going to be challenging as well. And so we got to come in and prepare as hard as we can and just embrace those moments. It's going to be tough. It's going to be hard, but we got to embrace it.
This is a rematch of Super Bowl 49 where the Patriots took down the Seahawks 28-24 in Glendale, Arizona. Now, Seattle might regret not running the ball on that second and goal play, but they have a chance to write a new story on Sunday. In San Jose, Justin Lacertosa, Cronkite News.
Hey, thanks, Justin. All right, let's bring it back from the Bay and talk about Arizona Cardinals legend Larry Fitzgerald. The NFL is announcing its 2026 Hall of Fame class this Thursday ahead of the Super Bowl, and Larry Fitzgerald is a top finalist. He's also here at the WM Phoenix Open. He teed off in the celebrity tournament earlier today, and he was on hand for some charity events yesterday. Fitzgerald is one of the most decorated wide receivers in NFL history, ranking second all-time in receptions and receiving yards. You'd think he's a lock to make the Hall in his first year of eligibility. Still, Fitzgerald said nothing is guaranteed, and he's just grateful to be considered.
I don't know if you set out to have a Hall of Fame career. I mean, when you're a kid, you just want to have a chance to go play in a Super Bowl and win a Super Bowl and, make plays that elevate your team and your city. And that was always my goal, and if I'm lucky enough to get in someday, this would be a great feather in your cap,
Some big news out of Arizona baseball today. The Associated Press confirmed that Carlos Santana has signed with the Arizona Diamondbacks. He most recently played with the Cleveland Guardians and the Chicago Cubs, where he hit 11 homers and 54 RBIs last season. He's agreed to a one-year, $2 million contract with the team and will play as a switch hitter and fill in as a first baseman and designated hitter. He has yet to complete a physical for the deal. And in basketball, the Phoenix Suns took down the Portland Trail Blazers in a 130-125 nail-biter. Portland came out swinging with a 19-point lead, but it was the Suns who finished the game in the second half. Suns guard Colin Gillespie scored a career-high 30 points for a double-double, which included 10 assists. The Suns will host Golden State Warriors tomorrow night at home. And finally, I promised you some Cardinals content to cap off our sports block here. Our Farrah Bojalid caught up with a few Cardinal stars this morning at the driving range for more on their golfing skills, a couple of Super Bowl picks, and what they think about newly hired head coach Mike LaFleur.
Trey, what part of your golf game are you most proud of?
Oh man, proud of? Maybe chipping and putting hopefully will show up today.
I'm really good at chipping and my putting, so I would say those two.
All right, so you got a good short game.
Sure, good.
What preparation went into you for this event today?
I played it. I got invited to this tournament down. It's Thin to Win golf tournament is what I'm going to call it. That's his Instagram handle. It's Brandon down at Augusta Ranch, and me and the guy named Hammy Golf won it.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was a little scramble/shamble, and it was a lot of fun.
Love that.
So,
who do you got, Seahawks or Patriots?
I got neither of them. I'm the biggest hater, so I wish I was in there. But no, I would say the Seahawks.
How does competing in a football game compare to a golf?
It's a little different. I'm used to the crowds, but I'm not used to this many people watching me play golf. So it'll be interesting how it goes, but very excited for the challenge, and I think we'll have a lot of fun today.
And Seahawks or Patriots?
Let's go Patriots.
And one more. What do you think about your new head coach?
I'm super excited. I think he's a great hire, and I think everything will be smooth. I think he's a great hire. Excited to get to know him more, and I love what he brings to the table.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Well, that'll do it here for the Cronkite Sports Report from TPC Scottsdale. For our incredible crew out here at the WM Phoenix Open, I'm Gabby Chernoff. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Gabby. Coming up next, football lovers are placing their bets and preparing for Sunday's big game.
One zoo had some of their residents make their own predictions. Up next, find out who they predict to take home the trophy when we return after this quick break.
Welcome back. Iowa's Blank Park Zoo let their African lions predict the winner of Super Bowl 60.
And over the past few years, the zoo says its animals have been correct in their prediction nearly 80% of the time.
The lions named Zeus and Zarina picked between two barrels, each labeled with the logos of the Seattle Seahawks and the New England Patriots. Zeus first walked up to the barrels before retreating away, picking neither. Zarina then swept in and placed her bet on the Seattle Seahawks. That's it for tonight's edition of Cronkite News. I'm Raina Majalay.
And I'm Eric Matsumoto. Thank you for joining us.